Imagine spending 6 hours a day hunting and gathering just to eat. Now, imagine getting a full meal delivered to your door in 30 minutes without leaving your couch. From chasing animals with spears to ordering pizza with your phone, human food has transformed beyond recognition. This is the complete evolution of how we've fed ourselves for 10,000 years, and it's more fascinating than you think. Let's go back 10,000 years. If you wanted to eat, you had two options: hunt it or find it growing wild. Hunter-gatherer societies spent 4 to 6 hours every day searching for food. That was literally their full-time job. Men typically hunted large animals, deer, wild boar, even mammoths in some regions. A successful hunt could feed a tribe for days, but hunts often failed. You might go days without catching anything. Women and children gathered plants, nuts, berries, roots, and insects. Gathering was actually more reliable than hunting. About 65% of calories came from gathered foods, not hunted meat. Here's what's wild. Our ancestors ate over 800 different plant species. Today, 75% of the world's food comes from just 12 plants. We actually had more dietary diversity as hunter-gatherers. Eating was completely seasonal. In summer, you had fresh berries and abundant game. In winter, you survived on stored nuts, dried meat, and whatever you could scavenge. Starvation was a real threat every winter. Food preparation was basic: roast it over fire or eat it raw. That's it. No recipes, no seasoning, no cooking techniques. Just char the meat until it's safe to eat. The average person consumed about 3,000 calories per day when food was available, but might eat nothing for days during hard times. Feast or famine was literally the lifestyle. Life expectancy was 25 to 30 years, and hunger was constant. But everything was about to change.
Around 8,000 BC in the Fertile Crescent, humans discovered something revolutionary. You could plant seeds and grow your own food. This was the agricultural revolution, and it changed everything. Instead of wandering to find food, people settled in one place and farmed. The first crops were wheat, barley, and lentils in the Middle East, rice in China, corn in the Americas. Farming meant reliable food. You knew where your next meal was coming from. But here's the catch. Early farmers actually worked harder than hunter-gatherers. Farming required 10 to 12 hours of work per day: plowing, planting, weeding, harvesting, storing. Domesticated animals changed the game. Sheep, goats, cattle, and pigs provided meat, milk, and cheese. For the first time, humans had a steady supply of protein without hunting. But agriculture had a dark side. Diet became less diverse. Farmers ate mostly grain, the same thing every day. Hunter-gatherers had 800 plant species. Farmers had maybe 10. Malnutrition increased. Skeletons from early farming communities show more disease than hunter-gatherer remains. Population exploded, though. Villages grew into towns. When you can store grain for months, you can support more people. By 5000 BC, some settlements had thousands of residents. Food storage was invented: clay pots, underground pits, granaries. For the first time, you could save food for winter and survive famines. Civilization was born from our ability to store surplus food. The social structure changed too. Some people could farm, while others became craftsmen, priests, or rulers. Specialization was only possible because farmers produced enough food for everyone. By 3000 BC, advanced civilizations had complex food cultures. Ancient Egypt had beer and bread as staples. Everyone drank beer, even children, because water wasn't safe. Beer was payment for workers who built the pyramids. A laborer received 10 loaves of bread and 4 liters of beer per day as wages. The Egyptians also had the first professional bakers. Bread came in over 40 varieties, some with dates, some with honey, some plain. Baking became a specialized skill. Mesopotamians created the first recipes. Clay tablets from 1700 BC contain detailed cooking instructions for lamb stew, bird pie, and turnip dishes. These are the world's oldest cookbooks. Ancient China developed sophisticated cuisine. Rice cultivation fed massive populations. By 1000 BC, the Chinese had soy sauce, tofu, and complex stir-frying techniques. Tea drinking began around 2000 BC. The Romans took food to another level. Wealthy Romans had elaborate feasts with courses, appetizers, main dishes, desserts. They imported exotic foods from across their empire: oysters from Britain, spices from India, wine from Greece. Garum, fermented fish sauce, was the ketchup of ancient Rome. Romans put it on everything. A single jar could cost as much as a month's wages. But most people still ate simply. Peasants had porridge, bread, and vegetables, maybe meat once a week if they were lucky. The rich-poor food divide was massive. Preservation techniques advanced. Salting, smoking, drying, and fermenting allowed food to last months. Honey was used as a preservative and sweetener. Sugar didn't exist in most of the world yet. Markets emerged. Instead of growing everything yourself, you could buy food from traders. Cities had specialized food districts, fish markets, grain markets, meat markets.
Medieval Europe had a completely different food culture than today. The average peasant's diet was bread, porridge, and pottage, a thick vegetable stew. Bread was everything. A family could eat 2 to 3 loaves per day. Stale bread was used as plates, called trenchers, that soaked up meat juices. Then you ate the bread. Meat was a luxury. Peasants might eat meat only on holidays, maybe 10 times per year. The rich ate meat daily: roasted boar, venison, swan, even peacock. Medieval people drank ale with every meal because water was contaminated. Children drank small ale, weak beer. Adults consumed 1 to 2 liters of ale daily. Spices were status symbols. Black pepper was so valuable it was used as currency. A pound of saffron cost as much as a horse. The wealthy showed off by over-spicing food to prove they could afford it. Fasting was mandatory. The Catholic Church required no meat on Fridays, and during Lent, that's over 150 days per year. Fish became crucial. Monks created fish ponds to have protein during fasting periods. Food preservation was critical for winter survival. Pigs were slaughtered in November, and the meat was salted or smoked to last until spring. Root vegetables were stored in cellars. Fruit was dried or made into preserves. Meals were communal. Everyone ate from shared bowls using their hands or bread. Forks didn't exist. They were invented in Italy around 1000 AD, but took 500 years to spread across Europe. Cooking was done in massive fireplaces with giant pots hanging over flames. Temperature control was impossible. Everything was either burnt or undercooked. Life still revolved around the harvest. One bad harvest meant famine. The Great Famine of 1315 to 1317 killed millions across Europe when crops failed for 3 consecutive years. The Age of Exploration revolutionized what people ate by connecting continents. Columbus's voyages in 1492 triggered the Columbian Exchange, the biggest food swap in history. From the Americas to Europe came tomatoes, potatoes, corn, chocolate, vanilla, chili peppers, and turkey. Imagine Italian food without tomatoes, or Irish cuisine without potatoes. That's pre-1500s Europe. From Europe to the Americas went wheat, rice, coffee, sugar, cattle, pigs, and horses. These foods transformed both continents. The potato changed Europe forever. 1 acre of potatoes could feed a family of 6 for a year. European population doubled between 1650 and 1850, largely because potatoes prevented famine. Sugar became the driving force of global trade. Caribbean sugar plantations, powered by enslaved labor, produced massive quantities. By 1700, the average British person consumed 4 pounds of sugar per year, up from nearly 0 in 1500. By 1800, it was 18 pounds per year.
Coffee and tea arrived in Europe in the 1600s. Coffee houses became social centers where people discussed politics and business. The London Stock Exchange started in a coffee house. Spice trade routes were worth dying for. Nutmeg from the Banda Islands was worth more than gold by weight. Nations fought wars over spice-producing islands. Food became global. A wealthy European in 1700 could eat sugar from the Caribbean, coffee from Ethiopia, tea from China, rice from India, and spices from Indonesia, all in one day. But most people still ate locally and simply. Transport was slow, and refrigeration didn't exist. Fresh food was local food. Meat spoiled in days. Cookbooks became popular. The first printed cookbooks appeared in the 1470s. Recipes spread across countries. Cooking became an art form among the wealthy. Still, hunger remained common. Poor harvests meant food riots. In France, bread prices determined political stability. The French Revolution was partly triggered by bread shortages.
Today, food has become instant, global, and algorithm-driven. Food delivery apps changed everything. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubber launched in the 2010s. Now you can order from thousands of restaurants and have food at your door in 30 minutes. In 2025, Americans spent over $80 billion on food delivery. You don't even need to talk to anyone. Order by app, get notified by text, food appears at your door. Some people can go weeks without cooking or visiting a restaurant in person. Meal kit services like HelloFresh ship pre-portioned ingredients with recipes. Cooking without shopping or planning. It's the modern version of convenience. Ghost kitchens emerged, restaurants that only exist for delivery. No dining room, no tables, just a kitchen making food for apps. Efficient, but soulless. Plant-based meat alternatives exploded. Impossible Burger, Beyond Meat, products designed to taste like meat but made from plants. By 2026, plant-based meat is a multi-billion-dollar industry. AI and algorithms control what we eat. Apps track your preferences and suggest meals. Social media influences food trends. Viral TikTok recipes reach millions overnight. Food waste has become a crisis. Developed countries throw away 30 to 40% of food produced. Meanwhile, 800 million people face hunger. The contrast is stark. But there's a counter-movement. Farm-to-table dining, organic foods, and local sourcing have grown. Some people are returning to growing their own food in urban gardens. The average person today has access to more food variety than ancient kings. You can eat sushi from Japan, curry from India, and tacos from Mexico in the same day, all delivered to your home. From hunting mammoths to ordering McDonald's on an app, we've gone from spending all day finding food to spending 30 seconds ordering it. The journey from survival to convenience took 10,000 years. From 6 hours a day hunting and gathering to 30 seconds ordering on an app. From eating 800 plant species to getting 75% of our calories from just 12 crops. From seasonal famine to year-round abundance. Food has gone from our biggest challenge to our easiest convenience. But with that convenience came new problems. Processed foods, food waste, and disconnection from where our food comes from. The next revolution might be lab-grown meat, vertical farms, or AI-optimized nutrition. Or maybe it's returning to simpler, more sustainable ways of eating. What do you think comes next? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more evolution comparison videos, subscribe to Find Historical and hit that bell. See you in the next one.